Oh, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Aeronef update number 16 now. Wow, that's a large number. So, what do I have for you this week? Well, not too much, because I haven't been working as much as I'd like to be because, well, actually, in fact, I did nothing yesterday because I was grinding League of Legends Team Fight Tactics, if you know what that is. I don't know. I've just been too stressed to do anything, because whenever I try and start working on my game, I start thinking about all the other things that I should be doing, like working on college applications because I'm a senior, and senior year starts in like, oh god, I just looked at the calendar. How many days is it now? Let's see. It's the 27th. Less than 2 weeks now, and yeah, I've gotta submit college apps in about a month and a half, and I gotta work on those essays, and of course I gotta get my teacher recommendation. Okay, stop, nobody cares. But yeah, so haven't been doing too much, but I do have enough for an update. Not like an incredible amount of progress, but you know. I'm gonna record a video anyway because I want to. Shut up. Okay, so first of all, I decided to alright. First thing I want to do is, you've seen it before, but a while ago, right? I made it so that at the bottom of the tree, there's this little city, and the idea was like you're gonna spawn there, you get quests there and stuff. So I decided, I went ahead and created a little bed texture because it's so small. It's not gonna look great. Oh no, actually I can zoom in decently well. But yeah, it's a little bed. But the main thing was there's this weird system in the game called the complex blocks. Oh hey Mink. Show everybody Mink so they don't think you're dead. Yeah, I still have the ferret. Okay, sorry, ADHD. But yeah. So you got this weird thing in this game called the complex block system, and basically some blocks, I can't just have them be singular tiles because they do things on their own, so it has to be their own separate class. Most blocks, you can't do this because it would be extraordinarily inefficient, and the frame rate would be would be awful. Can't say curse words anymore. So I used to be so bad at that. But yeah. The way these are stored on the map is really weird, and never before have I had to generate a complex block in the map generation and then transfer it over here, because like in my previous structures I just decided I'll leave outdoors because I don't want to figure out how to do that in torches. But now that works, and I did that for the bed. So when you go in game, in the village, see that little yellow thing, it marks it, and in the actual structure image, I think it's purple. Yeah, it's that thing there. And now that the bed spawn's there, I can do this thing where, when it tries to get my spawn location, if I don't have an airship, it just says, oh, we'll find a bed on the map and place you there. So now, when I spawn, here, I'll just /die. Look, I'm at the bed. That's pretty cool. So yeah, spawn in the bed, and then next, you've probably seen by now, but because I added this system, I can also have doors and torches that are here, and that's why in this image That's what those little yellow and blue things are. And oh, since I'm already talking about this, I might as well show it. But another thing is this smeltery over here. What that's gonna be is it's gonna work like the bed, except instead of spawning me there, it's gonna spawn the blacksmith NPC. I'll just spawn in the 2 NPCs that I made. But yeah, it's gonna spawn in this guy right there. And then I'm gonna make something similar for the steampunk guy up in his tower up here. But yeah, so that's what that is. The village is coming along pretty nicely, and I'm pretty happy with it actually, with how all the little systems are turning out and how it's slowly starting to look good. The main difficulty, I guess, is getting the village, which is structured predeterminedly, to fit well into the world, which is, of course, completely random. Because, like, there's a chance that maybe the tower could spawn inside the tree. I need to make that not happen, or if it does, make it still, like, function well, right? Because what's going to happen is this is where you're going to build your first airship, right? You're going to have, like, after you progress in the story a bit, the steampunk guy is going to tell you, go around here and collect some parts for me, and then we can build an airship. And then you can start... What? Wait, what? What is that? Wait. Clothing colors 0. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Oh, it's because it's an NPC. And NPCs don't have that. But that's weird because that glitch has not happened before. And I have actually been dev testing it because of how bad it used to be. But I guess I'll add that there. Clothing color on minimap glitch. That's odd. But yeah, so eventually you can get your ship and explore the majority of the map, which is of course far above the village, right? Because the village is down there, and you can start flying up and get up there, or maybe into the tree. I don't know. It'll be cool, hopefully. In my head it is. Yeah. So, is the same thing gonna happen again? Let's see. Yes, it is. I'll just go ahead and fix it. Sorry about that. Just return H. Okay, so yeah. And that's that. And then next up, oh yeah, spawning. I fixed it for the most part. It's a lot better now than it was. I mean, like it's not completely intolerable. It's gonna be a little difficult to notice when I'm in the village because I disabled spawning in the village. Okay, well now I look like an idiot because the guy just flew by me down there. I don't know what that was about, but oh yeah, more information in dev tools also. So enemy spawning on equals true. You have that. Printing data false. Total enemies 0. There's 0 enemies right now. It's pointing. Oh, I forgot about that. God, that's awful. That's awful. Okay. Because in the NPCs aren't supposed to spawn in the normal way, and I never changed this, but if you just spawn one of them, if you spawn 11, which is just the thing for NPCs, And for dev testing, I just put it so it spawns both them. It spawns in 2, right? It spawns in both them. But then it saves both of them as entity type 11, and then it spawns both them in using the normal method. So then every time it saves and loads the game, they duplicate. So eventually it builds up to be a ton of them. And I keep forgetting to remove that. But yeah. So, well, I mean, I don't... Yes, I do need to remove it. What am I saying? Okay. So yeah. That's a thing. What else? Oh yeah, I was talking about spawning. If I leave the city first, oh yeah, also it says within city true, it can tell that. Because also, another thing I changed, it saves the location of the city. Which, I mean, like, it doesn't sound that important, but, because it saves the location of the city, it can run algorithms inside the city, like look for your bed a lot easier. And yeah. God. I'm just trying to... Actually, why don't I just go on the ground? I don't need to go to an island. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, it can run those algorithms a lot easier. And yeah. Now I'm outside of the city, and it should be spawning enemies. Spawn timer should run down, and then spawn an enemy. Yeah, there you go. What this does is it shows it shows a line so that I know where the enemy is, so I don't have to go looking for it every time it spawns one. It just just despawned one. It does that if I'm like too far away, or if I'm not getting closer to it. Despawn timer. Okay, yeah, and it can't despawn it because it's on screen. So yeah, another thing is it no longer paths to me if it's never seen me, but now because it has seen me, it does path to me. Sadly, it can't make that jump. Poor guy. But yeah. Okay, I fixed spawning for the most part, but I guess I haven't really fixed AI. I should probably get on that, because this guy's just stuck in an infinite loop, because it thinks he's getting closer, but he's not. I forgot that oh yeah, those guys spawn in this biome. But yeah, those are the ice giants over there. Well, that is an ice giant. But yeah. So that's neat. Spawning's a bit better. It shows the number on the lines is the distance between you and the enemy, and then it draws a line to each enemy on the screen that exists, so you know where it is. Don't have to look for it. Also shows the current time, shows what the day is, shows the despawn and spawn timers. So yeah, that's a little nice thing that I have for testing. What else? Oh yeah, there used to be a glitch where if well, wait, how did I do this? Enemy spawn. How did I disable spawning? Control and I. Okay, so yeah. And then, okay. So there used to be a glitch where the wrench wouldn't render in the right position, and that was because of how I changed how items, how the player is rendered with rotation and such, like that kind of thing, and a couple other things. Oh yeah, like when I changed how they're rendered from how the position is stored in the bottom instead of the top. So yeah, it does that, and then undid old arm system. Oh yeah. Um, there used to be this glitch that made all sorts of rendering just look awful, because what it was doing was, because of how I used to do combat, which is just like, if the arms hit somebody, then it does damage to them, right? That used to be how it worked, and it was because I was too lazy to do hitboxes or anything. I just used the libgdx's built-in does bounding rectangle collide with this rectangle, and because if I did it in the way that I did all other clothing sprites, it would have the rectangle would be the size of the entire player. So when the arm was rotated like this, the actual hit would be all the way over here. And that just, well, as it sounds, that would be absolutely awful, because hits that are very far away from you would still hit you. So I decided, okay, how about I do this thing that I thought was me being lazy, but in the end it was just more complicated than just making new hitboxes. But here, I'll show it. I'll just show it. Entities, human. I had these 2 extra arm sprites that were just cropped to be just the arm. But because of that, I spent hours and hours over multiple months having to go through and fix that every time I make a special case for just the arms whenever any part of the character was animated or rendered. And it's just awful. It was just terrible. I don't know how to put that into words, but just nothing worked the way it was supposed to. And then the worst part was, even once I got everything working, because of some weird rounding error that was built into libgdx, so I couldn't fix it as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware at least. Whenever like my arms rotated, even though the origin positions were exactly the same, still a part of my skin and arm would be shown. Wait, what the hell? What was that? But yeah, basically a tiny bit of my arm would always be showing from behind my sprite. I don't know what that glitch was, but it was just, no matter what, there was always just a tiny bit of skin leaking through from behind the your shirt, and it was really bad, really. I don't know how to talk about it without okay, whatever. Guess I'm just not gonna be able to find it. You know, whatever. Okay. All my videos are saved in 720, so there must be, I don't know, some kind of compression. Ugh, dang it. Okay, so. Oh, and I also don't want to spend enough time finding a good example. But, you know, God, I hate my hair so much. I looked at the camera there. Okay, I have trichotillomania. That's probably I probably shouldn't be sharing that, but you know. Okay. So spawns at okay. Something that might be noticeable. If I go over here and then look at this. Look at this. You see that? You seeing that? The textures between the 2 wall tiles blend. And that is a new system that I just recently created, like 2 days ago. And I love it so much. Basically, it creates a whole new list of tiles that is pretty much, it just takes the normal textures and then it makes them, instead of 16 by 16, 18 by 18, and then it just puts the bottom on the top, etc., and it just kind of blends them. It makes it look like there's another tile on top of it, for just one thing, and then it carves part of it out, and then when it's next to another type of tile, it renders this little like blending effect between them to show you what it used to look like. This is something that I should be able to easily give an example of. Yeah. God. Oh. Yeah. See how it used to just be squares, and it looks terrible. Yeah. Now it blends the textures together, and it looks pretty nice, and I'm happy with it. Even when it's behind another tile, there was originally a glitch where it would blend through, but then I decided, you know what? I'll just go ahead and have the walls render in a for loop before it actually renders the foreground tiles, so they don't render on top of each other anymore. But yeah, so now the wall tiles blend a lot nicer, which is good. Why is the frame rate so low? What's up with that? Is it just because I'm also recording using OBS? And that's lowering the frame rate? That's probably the case. I don't know. So yeah. What's up with that? What is it doing? Is it saving? I don't know, man. I wasn't doing that before. Okay, so yeah. And once I got... So yeah, what I was talking about was the arms. So the arms, I just undid the whole system where they were cropped, and now they're just normal. And then I also went ahead and fixed holding, much like the thing with the arms, held items are done weird because I have to crop the image to make it so they fit correctly. This is really easy to show. Assets, entities, human. Wait, no, not in entities or human. It's in held items. Yeah, here we go. And you can see, damn it. They're cropped all differently. Like the wrench is really fat like that. Same thing with the hammer. And then the spear especially, that's like 32 by 32. Oh yeah, also, that's another thing. Good segue. Also added 91? I mean, no, slash give 91 one. I don't think that was the actual command, but it appears I just happened to have a spear in my inventory. But yeah, so you have the spear now, and what I want to do is when you actually have to be holding the spear to do this thing. So yeah, I really need to fix the dash effect because I think that has to do with is weirdly connected to block size. So if you're really zoomed in, it'll just shoot you far. I think it multiplies it by block size twice instead of divide. I don't know, man. But yeah. So basically, you've got that. You've got your thing, and you've got, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's everything I want to talk about. So, see you on next week's episode. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and